Okay, there's been a video online and also on DVD, Bible versus the Book of Mormon. Now, this video is not very good if you understand actually the illusion behind these so-called facts. So I'm going to read you an article written by Brant A. Gardner, because he obviously knows more than I do, and he wrote an amazing article about this in the FAIR website. This article has lots of references and sources cited, so I'm urging every one of you, go and see this article on your own. And it's easily fairles.org. Click there, and straight away on the first page, you'll see it on the left side. In the left column, you'll see Bible versus the Book of Mormon. And you can see there, and you can go through all the claims I'm going to read now, and then you can check out the sources and also the arguments in the sources itself. It's very well documented, this thing. So here it goes. Brant A. Gardner named this article Behind the Mask, Behind the Curtain, Uncovering the Illusion. Okay. Magicians are illusionists who entertain with wonderful things that appear real. Of course, the craft is not real magic, any more than the Wizard of Oz was more than a man behind a curtain. It is a masterful illusion, the art of misdirection, a play upon our credulity. The magician lures us into believing we have seen something that is not really there. Living Hope Ministries has produced a film entitled The Bible versus the Book of Mormon that performs magic tricks with ideas. It slickly demonstrates its points with the classic techniques of misdirection, unexamined assumptions, and hidden information. In technique and effect, the film is the analog of magic show. One can watch it and actually believe that one has seen something, although that is not in reality what happened. Not that long ago, a few television specials took a different tack on magic shows. Rather than celebrate the illusion, they showed the reality behind the curtains. It seems appropriate to use that model as I examine the Bible versus the Book of Mormon. When we see how the magician performed the trick, it does not seem nearly so impressive. In this case, the illusion is that the film is based on scholarship. Unmasked, the film is far from scholarly. It is empty propaganda. The film is separated into several segments. To help those who might like to follow along, I will divide this review into the film segments and discuss them in order. For each segment, I will present Living Hope's illusion, and then I will unmask it. So, that is the prologue for the Hope. Okay, first segment is Introduction. The illusion. The main question of the introduction echoes throughout the film. Is the Book of Mormon comparable to the Bible? The film carefully creates a contrast between a believable Bible and an unbelievable Book of Mormon. The unmasking. The film clearly intends to demonstrate that the Book of Mormon and the Bible are not comparable by taking a very critical view of the Book of Mormon while presenting the Bible as though it generated no controversy at all. This approach is fundamental misrepresentation of the scholarly climate for both the Bible and the Book of Mormon. William G. Dewar, a professor of Near Eastern archaeology and anthropology at the University of Arizona, believes that the Bible is historical. Nevertheless, he notes, the archaeological revolution in biblical studies is confidently predicted by George E. Wright and his teacher, the legendary William Foxwell Albright, had come about by the 1980s. But not entirely in the positive way that they had expected. Many of the central events as narrated in the Hebrew Bible turn out not to be historically verifiable. In other words, not true at all. Despite the above quotation, the truth of the Bible is obtained by faith and revelation, whether it is historically verifiable or not. By ignoring the questions that are currently asked of the Bible, the film creates the illusion that the Bible is unassaulted and unassailable, that the Book of Mormon suffers from the question on every front. The reality is that the Bible must also stand before modern scholarship and answer serious questions. In that respect, the Bible and Book of Mormon are quite comparable. Hard questions may be asked of each, and in the end, the answers, not the questions, are important. In this film, the viewer never even sees the questions directed at the Bible. For the Book of Mormon, they never see the answers. So there you go. The story of the Bible, the story of the Book of Mormon is the next segment. The illusion is as follows. The film provides an outline of the stories found in the Bible and declares these stories to be historical. The Book of Mormon is presented as a work that merely claims to be historic. The unmasking of this illusion. The illusion of these two segments is subtle. While ostensibly simply setting the stage, the film portrays a Bible that can be easily confirmed as historical, and the Book of Mormon for which no authentication then can be found. For the Book of Mormon, the misdirection comes in the way that the story is presented. Viewers are told that the Bible is a historical account of the Old World and that the Book of Mormon is a historical account of the Americas. This subtle illusion depends upon viewers' predispositions. Viewers are familiar with the Bible, know it took place in a specific location in the Old World. Hearing that the book is a historical account of the Old World, they immediately think of a small area between the ancient cultures of Egypt, Assyria, and Babylon, and do not conclude that the Bible is a history of the entire Old World. This contrasts with the illusion created when the Book of Mormon is mentioned. The film portrays it as a historical account of the Americas, lacking any familiar or limiting pre-knowledge of the Book of Mormon. A viewer may easily suppose that this means the entire Western Hemisphere. Indeed, many, probably most, Latter-day Saints may have supposed that for a number of years. The film plays upon existing assumptions without calling attention to what the producers do not want the viewer to see, creating a powerful illusion. In this case, the illusionists do not want to deal with the best Latter-day Saint scholarship on the Book of Mormon. The body of scholarship, which has been growing in volume and sophistication of method and detail for at least the last 40 years and presaged for perhaps 100 years before that, is completely ignored in the film. In exactly those places in which scholarly presentation would discuss the best contrary evidence, this film opts for the propaganda technique of ignoring anything that does not support its thesis. There are only two possible explanations for interpreting this remarkable lack of scholarly honesty. Either every person appearing in the film is unaware of that body of scholarship, or without withholding that information is intentional. While the first could well be true for some of the experts in the film, particularly the archaeologists in Israel, it is extremely doubtful for others. Thomas W. Murphy, who has a PhD in anthropology, for example, appears as one of the primary experts in the film. He recently published an article in which he addresses some of the issues he so carefully ignores in this film. Murphy is obviously aware of Latter-day Saint scholarship that presents a different side to the issues he discusses, yet he gives no indication of that awareness at any point in this film. The film's producers and editors should have had access to relevant information from Murphy that should have been presented. One must conclude that this magician knows more than he wants the audience to see.